be comfortable being uncomfortable. Once you can get there, then you can push. But if you're going through your set and you get to 9 and you want to drop your hands down, regather yourself before you hit 10, no, bro. We need pressure, constant pressure. You know what I'm saying? Press. And man, 4th grade, I had a basketball coach. He was from Israel. And we ran press literally the whole game. And all he would say was aggression. You know what I mean? And I was like, bro, this is what it is. You know what I mean? You have to be up in somebody, make them feel uncomfortable. Bro, I literally fought through so much. You know what I'm saying? Got type 1 diabetes. I played through the whole playoffs. You know what I'm saying? My blood sugar was over 400 every single game. I didn't even know. And then when it really hit, I lost 19 pounds in a week and a half. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't always feel like the care was there. Yes, you have this job you have to try to keep, but at the same time, you're battling your health, you're battling your injuries, you're battling these type of games. You know what I mean? I would literally tell anyone, go do jiu-jitsu. If you're going through something, go do jiu-jitsu. If you're not going through something, go do jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Seriously, and the amount of people in there who have gone through just insane stuff, but it gives them balance, that it gives them peace. Isn't that what everybody wants at the end of the day?
Welcome to the Functional Code, your go-to source for decoding optimal health. Join Dr. Addy and Dr. Jace as they break down the science behind pain, performance, longevity, and more, making complex concepts easy for you to understand and apply in your life. Your journey to a healthier you begins with understanding the Functional Code.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Functional Code, episode 38. Today, we have a special guest for you, Matt Ware. Everybody, I'm very excited to bring to you our guest today, one of 67 athletes who not only played in the MLB, but NFL at the same time. Guys, we're very excited to bring Matt Ware to you today. Matt, thank you so much for being here.
Man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Again, I'm super excited to have you. As always, I am Dr. Addy.
And I'm Dr. Jace. Yeah, since I got a chance to know Matt and since he came in as a patient, there's a lot of stuff that obviously we've helped out with, but just for me and myself learning from your experiences and just how awesome a person you are. On top of all these athletic accolades, says tremendous about you, who you surround yourself with, family. So mad respect to everyone that you know there. And some of the trials and tribulations that kind of brought you to this point. Nothing but respect for everything that you are about and everything that you've done and continue to do. Now, I'll go through a little bit of Matt's bio, and as I go through the overview, we're then going to go into a few other questions and dive into more details as we go through. So pay attention to that as time goes on in the timestamps. Now, Matt's from California originally. I played college football at UCLA Bruins, and I know your pup's Bruins.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then was drafted by the Seattle Mariners and the 2001 MLB draft. Then switched over, got drafted fall in the 3rd round, 89th overall in the 2004 NFL draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. Played a few seasons there, where one of which he had a game-winning touchdown against the San Diego Chargers after a block field goal. Ran back then.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. That was a wild day.
I went on YouTube and watched that. I had to see it. That was nuts, man. That was so cool.
Yeah. And then Matt then played for the Arizona Cardinals. A couple of injuries took place. Rehab from those, played the UFL, CFL. Obviously, between being drafted, MLB, NFL, there's a lot of athletic capabilities that he's had. We're going to dive into, obviously, those, but even mental mind frame and kind of the stuff that you've had to go through and not many people are familiar with, especially when people see athletes on TV. They don't see the stuff that you've had to go through, whether it's injuries, whether it's personal drama, like that separation between man and family as well. There's so much that I feel like people don't understand. But let's dive into a few get to know you type of questions, and then we can open up the books from there. Matt, I'm always curious, especially higher end level athletes, how they were raised and grew up. So with that, what are some of the earliest memories playing sports that you have? And did you always want to go pro when you were younger?
To be honest, I never even thought about it. I just enjoyed what I was doing. My uncle was a scout for the Dodgers. And he also really facilitated the inner city baseball aspect for the Dodgers. You know what I mean? Because baseball is an expensive sport, bats and stuff. So to be able to help out in the inner city. But we would just be in the backyard with a broomstick and like these little tiny wiffle balls. And like my uncle would just be sitting there on the can and just toss them up, and we'd be working our technique, but we didn't know it. And those constant repetitions, they say it was 2,000 repetitions or hours, whatever, before you become a professional. But I was putting that time in like way back there and like really developing like hand-eye coordination skills. But he always made it fun. So my thought I was going to the next level never even really came until like my sophomore year of high school. I went to UCLA camp and balled out at the camp, and like they offered me, and like obviously that's a school I always dreamed about going to because both my parents went there. And once that happened, it was over.
It makes sense too. And I've even seen Bryce Harper too, like his dad's same thing with a red little ball, a small bat. And if you can hit that, I mean, you can hit anywhere, multiple directions, multiple fields. So that's cool that they start.
Even on top of that, like
Please.
we'd be at my granny's house and we'd be in the living room and we would set up all of our baseball cards. So here's the catcher, here's the pitcher, whole outfield. And like we would throw marbles and use a pencil and the marble. It's like we were always working out like hand-eye coordination, but like in a micro level. Yeah.
That's so cool. I didn't even know about that game. I mean, you can make so many small, like little things up as you learn and grow. And just a lot of it's keeping the kids entertained and keeping you guys entertained. So that's really cool.
Yeah, we used to keep ourselves entertained back then. Now everybody needs to have a tablet or, a phone or something like that.
Sure.
Like, the imagination.
That.
So with, you said sophomore year. So what changed? When did you start having that awareness, I guess? What was the change?
Like I said, like after the sophomore season, when I went to that camp, I just remember like making a couple plays. And at that point, I was like, oh, like I can do this. You know what I mean? Like I can dominate. And then, the next year I played quarterback, I played safety, and things got a little better. And then the next year was like an even bigger jump.
So you weren't always on defense?
Oh, I was always on defense. I played both ways.
Corner, excuse me.
Quarterback and safety.
Gotcha.
So it must.
I only got one offer to play defensive back, and that was UCLA. Everybody else offered me as a quarterback.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess it didn't get offered to play UCLA. Would you still want to adapt to that position?
If I had gone somewhere to play quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah.
But I remember like Ohio State was recruiting me, and like they had all these great corners. Sean Springs, Antonio Winfield, like just amazing corners. And I was like, man, I want to do that. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, you can come in and play quarterback first. And if it doesn't work out, then you can do that. And I was like, well, that means I'll be going to school for a year and not playing. I mean, possibly. And I was like, I'm not really on that schedule.
Very smart and worked out really well at UCLA. So, man, it's cool how things like workouts.
You want to say USC real bad, don't you?
No, not really. I'm terrible with some of those abbreviations, man. That's more so.
You're sweating right now, Wade.
A little bit, man. No, we're good there. Let's dive into the next one, pregame rituals. And did you have some, whether it's baseball, football, practice game? I guess what were some of your ritual superstitions that you had?
Bro, my football ritual was like, so I would go in and my memory's not great, but like this is what I remember.
Yeah.
I would tape my toes. I just get the Band-Aids, tape my toes. Then I would tape this top part of your foot. It's like, so I'm breaking. I wasn't like getting blisters and stuff like that. That was really important because my rookie year, my first training camp, we wore Adidas at UCLA and the bottoms were a lot more flat. And the Nike cleats, when I got a Nike contract, they were more like this. The pieces that go into the ground were like a little circular piece. So it's different pressure points. And so I had blisters, like I had holes in my feet that first year in training camp, 100 degrees, like 90% humidity. And like your feet are soaking in just like holes in your. So that was part of my ritual, was to tape my feet up. I always laid out my uniform, socks, pants, jersey, all the way up. Did a little man this, did my wrist, stuff like that. And then I would get dressed and then I would eat. People would be like, bro, how do you eat like before you go out? Like I eat like a whole Subway sandwich. We usually would eat like pasta and like salmon. But after doing that for 4 or 5 years, it starts to get hard to go down. You even go further than that, like before the games, like the night before, I'd like shape my whole body. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be like more like aerodynamic. This felt like I would be like more no drag. At least in my head, you know what I mean? Like I was like, yeah. So
That's awesome, man. And going back to the part with the cleats too, like college soccer, turf, and even just grass itself, like those metal spikes, it hits different, like the cutting, agility. It's weird how it has evolved the shoe wear of athletics. God, now they have this like hard plastic stuff, which is a way lighter, more.
it gives you more spring too. Like it gives you the reflex to like, kick back, help you run faster and stuff. So.
Man, I almost wish that we could perform some of the athletic games, events, inputs, like whether it's hockey, baseball, football, what have you with that, and have the same equipment or technology back in the day. Kind of compares to
See, wait.
It's so crazy.
That would.
So coming off the field, was there anything that you tried to do to unwind from the game? At least this like disconnect or try to wind down, or was that tougher to do? Especially after the adrenaline was up?
Yeah, the night of the game, or after the game,
After any game.
I mean, it always sucks because like you take the Toradol shot before the game, you're like driving home, and then your stomach starts hurting from like the Toradol shot. You know what I mean? Bubble guts. Getting home and just like still being like up and like thinking about like for me, I never thought about oh man, like I made this play or this. I'd be like, damn, dude, like my hand placement was freaking terrible. You know what I mean? Or what could I have done here?
Of course,
of course, literally
It's
going
your
through.
picture.
So.
That's crazy. I like that point that Matt just made there. He meticulously thought about some of the stuff that he did prior to, probably excessively thought about it, and just to improve himself, and just even nitpicking some small things to make you a top tier athlete. I feel like every high end athlete has to do that to a certain extent. Is what you've seen for other individuals that you played with?
I think for a lot of people it's different, like depending on what your role is. For me, I didn't really get a chance to like master a position because I was playing corner, I was playing strong safety, free safety, nickel linebacker, dime linebacker. I had to know knew the defense, but it wasn't like I was going up and lining up 60 plays a game and doing the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean? It was like my brain was like, okay, now I'm here. Okay, I got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say the guys who are like the dudes, the Champ Baileys, the Dions, those guys are, that's why those guys have jackets.
But they also have the ability to focus on trade and hold. And that's going to be it's going to be different for anybody when you're focused on so many other things.
Yeah. It's just how you're able to manage your career. You know what I mean? So for me, being a special teams guy, being a guy who could play multiple positions on defense, that's what kept me in the league. You know what I mean? So you just go with that.
100%.
Yeah.
Try to be the best you can at that exact position, those plays. I love that.
Versatility.
You support, obviously, whatever role you get at a higher end playing, like you want to just do whatever you can to play and help the team win. So,
who's over some of your favorite teammates that in history that you remember playing with that you really enjoyed, or do you still connect with them too? My
best friend that I played with was Hamza Abdullah. We had a podcast together. We only played like 2 seasons together, but we had a connection way before that. Like, I remember playing against him in the preseason. I don't remember if it was my first or second year in Arizona, but we went up against each other. He was on the punt team and I was on the punt return team. And I looked across and I was like, that's a Cali boy right there. And I was like, that's a Pac-10 guy, you know? And we had like a little verbal exchange, not like a bad one, you know what I mean? But it's like in the middle of the play, hey dog, let me go on to continue to play, but just a great human being, someone who has standing character, someone who wants the same for you that he wants for himself. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to find a lot of that in the NFL because obviously you're competing. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of guys are friends, but it's also, but like with Hamza, that's like my brother. And that was my outlook. Like everybody that I was around, I always just wanted to just be like family. But Jeremy Urban, Jason, I know I'm going to leave some guys out, but Ryan Dawkins, Sheldon Brown, Lito Shepard, Rod Hood, bro. Like Rod Hood was my big brother when I came to Philadelphia. You know what I mean? My rookie year. And he played here in Arizona with me also. And that's my brother. Like we talk. And it doesn't matter if we don't talk for 6 months. Like as soon as we get back on the phone, we fall right back into place. So yeah, but I played with a lot of great guys. Kurt Warner was like, we weren't like hanging out on the weekend, but like his energy when he came in the locker room, like he just had an aura about him, like a presence. and he was positive. And just watching those guys consistently, Larry Fitzgerald, Anquans,
Fitz is still out here.
I believe so. Yeah. Jeremy Bridges, been with friends with him for 20 years, offensive lineman, played with them in Philly and Arizona. We try to take a little bit of the East Coast and bring it back to the West.
So Hamza has got a brother. Did he play?
Yeah, Hussein.
He's from Minnesota. So yeah, I remember that last name. I absolutely, because they took hiatus. Wow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Yeah, that one, the 1 year.
Story.
Yeah. And it was super cool that they did that.
They traveled overseas, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they went and did their homage. And then they came back. And I know this is like a little segue, but Hussein got a chance to go back, but Hamza came back and worked like we're on the same age. And he got blackballed from it. You know what I mean? And the dude came back and was in the best shape of his life. 227 pounds, like 4% body fat, like lying. You know what I mean? Like his back looked like Lee Haney. You know what I mean? Like it was ridiculous. And to see him have to go through that and still keep his mind there was just like, man, it was really an awesome experience. But also it was pain in it too, of course. Yeah.
What were some of the things that, I guess, that I'm sure you guys chatted about that situation? What are some of the things that he did during that time frame to spring himself back?
Man, I don't believe that it was a very easy time. You know what I'm saying? But he does stay grounded. He stays grounded in his space. He stays grounded in himself. He knows who he is. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's not difficult, that there might not be suicidal ideation, you know what I'm saying? Just whatever, but he got through it, you know what I mean? I think he did that through service of others.
When I start thinking of those times, that's all I think about is who can I help? I'm going to pull myself out. That's usually what I'll start thinking about.
Yeah, because that takes the eye off. Yeah.
It's incredible. Like, I know we chatted before on this. So we've been in kind of similar boats at different times of our lives. And obviously it's a little bit easier for us as physicians, doctors, to help people, but to keep us and going in the same direction. It's like those battles that are taking place where you can see that you have to fight through, but in the end, you better person.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's funny you say, because I was like talking to my wife, and I know it just seems like society wants to kind of going towards, man, they want everybody to just be comfortable and everything be easy. Dude, you'll never be the best version of yourself without going through some shit. There's no chance. If you're given all these things and then you get put in the fire, you're gonna blink. You know what I mean? Oh, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? But if you've been tested and proven to yourself that you can do something, then now you know that you can succeed.
And I feel like it's harder for people to start finding purpose because things are so easy. Back in the day, 100 years ago, my family, my ancestors were just farming every day. A 14-year-old male like myself was either in the field or trying to do something with shelter and making sure everything's. Now people are just finding themselves in this point, no purpose, because they don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
And it's getting to be that point. And they're going to make their own problems if they don't have a struggle.
Exactly. Yeah. And those struggles are going to be way different.
For sure.
And dang, I'd love to say something, but yeah, I totally agree with you, Sam, man.
So with that, because I know you have a couple kids, do you start to instill some of those challenges to your daughters growing up?
100%. There are people like, oh man, you got girls, little princesses. Princesses are killers, bro.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I treat them the same way I would boys. You know what I'm saying? I've roughed house with them since they were babies. And for them, it's normal. You know what I mean? So, that's what I was going to say. We've taken away like the physical fitness test. We've taken away like all these things. And it's, dude, now you're going to lead to type 2 diabetes. Now your confidence levels go down. You know what I mean? Because you haven't been challenged. Man, let's see how many pull-ups you can do. You know what I mean? I remember being like, man, I can't touch my toes yet. And then like when I could touch my toes, it was like, I hated running the mile for the physical fitness test. You know what I mean? But if you wanted to be one of those top people in the country, like you have to do it.
Yeah.
Ask me if I haven't run since 2015. You know what I mean? Like I don't enjoy running, but like those are things that we had to do. Everyone had to do it. Slow, fast, big, small, no matter what.
Yeah.
Get it done.
I mean, remember back in the 40s, you can look at videos and they're outside crawling with the bar. It's
the ropes, all that stuff.
All of it.
Yeah.
I don't know where we felt that wasn't okay. I don't know. we're gonna drive these kids insane one day because they aren't gonna be able to actually push themselves in
Yeah.
a certain way, which is unfortunate, really.
Very true. Oh, I do want to ask this. What's the most exciting place you've ever played football and or baseball? What did you
You asked what's my favorite stadium to play in?
stadium, practice field, backyard football, anything like that?
My favorite place to play was Seattle on the West Coast and Washington Commanders now on the East Coast. Like that stadium, FedEx Field, I don't know. I just felt gladiator. It was just so grand. It was just I enjoy FedEx Field is. Yeah. But in Seattle, like with the 12th man, I always tell the story, but I remember being on the sideline right here, and Kurt Warner's running towards the sideline. He's getting pressured. Patrick Kearney, this like huge defense end. He's like 6'5", remember, like 275. Yeah, Atlanta. Yeah. And this dude was a monster, bro. So he like karate chops Kurt to the ground, right in front of me. He gets up and he like lets out his veins and like everything, right? And he's literally standing in front of me, and I couldn't hear him at all. That's how loud the stadium was like deafening, and I was just like, bro, he's red. He's red like veins. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, I couldn't hear anything coming out of his mouth at all. And I was like, bro, this place is awesome.
God, I can't.
So John, sometimes you don't even know if your message is heard from people because of how loud it can be.
Oh, when you're playing defense at home, if you have a real crowd, bro, there's no verbal communication. It's all hand signals. You know what I mean? Because yeah, it's like the same thing. Like my brother was telling me they played at Oregon, Eugene. He's sitting next to his best friend, Brett Lockett, right here. And they're trying to yell in each other's ears and could not hear each other. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. Yeah. Yeah. It's wild.
Did it take a while to stay poised with that amount of energy, or did that energy not?
Oh, I love it. That amount of energy, for me, I'm best with 2 strikes.
Okay.
I don't, like if I had a homework assignment given to me on Monday and it's due on Friday, I'm going to probably wake up on Friday morning and like at 2 or 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? And okay, bro, this has to get done now. Saying like you only have 4 hours. I need like that. I have to have that pressure
But then thing is switched in and you're
But the minute I feel pressure, I zone.
Yeah.
It's
Have you always been that way, or have you had to kind of practice that? Always that way.
Yeah.
See, that's
always
so
best with 2 strikes.
That's
Even
so
at
interesting.
like a younger age, like
Always best with 2 strikes. I think some of that pressure too, my dad never allowed me to play with my age group. So I always played, the kids were always older than me.
So you had to be locked in a little bit.
Yeah. So like you're 12 and you're supposed to be on the little league field, but now you're on the Babe Ruth field. You're playing on the big league field. You know what I mean? Like, bro, making that throw from the outfield to even second base now, I was like, you got to stretch that thing out. You know what I mean?
And you don't want those big kids to think a certain way about
Yeah.
You're stepping up already.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you said something about your father, but so was there a way that you felt motivated even or raised early on about athletics? And was there something that you can remember as far as what that setting looked for you? So I guess, for example, did you ever feel like you were coached or motivated a certain way towards sports where you expected?
Whew, that's a really good question. I remember my mom one time. It's crazy. I even remember like this kid's name. This kid and I did a very similar thing. I was like way better. You know what I'm saying? My mom, I remember I got in the car and I think I went 4 for 4 or something like that. You know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, but Drew Beckmeyer did this. And I just remember like sitting back in my seat and just being like, I got this, bro. Like, you want me to turn up. And so that's when I realized, bro, like, I don't just need praise. Tell me I can't do something. I'll show you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so she instilled that a little bit. And then I grew up with all my cousins. Like, we were always together. We were all like the same age group. And like, they're all rough. You know what I mean? It was a constant competitive environment.
And
Constantly pushing you.
so that goes back to a question. When you had that conversation, what do you like to do right now? You help beasts become great. Do you use some of those tools or like mindsets to help others and or yourself train, live?
Yeah. There's young kids in my neighborhood, high school football players. if they want to come work out, I'll allow it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna, I'm gonna make you to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Once you can get there, then you can push. But if you're going through your set and you get to 9 and you like want to drop your hands down, regather yourself before you hit 10, no, bro. We need pressure, constant pressure. You know what I'm saying? Press. And man, 4th grade, I had a basketball coach. He was from Israel. And we ran press literally the whole game. And all he would say was aggression. You know what I mean? And I was like, bro, this is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be up in somebody, make them feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
I had the same from a guy, soccer, pressing constantly at 10 years old, playing with a dude from Germany, from overseas, regardless. And his dad helped coach. And the same thing in a little accent, press the entire time. And I think for me, that gave me a good understanding of, okay, there's way more that we give, different type of style tactic, but similar, that there's almost another level to where you push yourself that not make you even go there, but that's where adaptation is. That's where it changes. That's where the mental mindset drive can then start laying down and habit. There's so much that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you think that you've worked your hardest, right? And I remember my rookie year in the NFL, we got to the playoffs, bro, I'm playing fast. You know what I mean? And then we got to the Super Bowl. And after that game, bro, I didn't sleep for 3 days. My body hurt in a way that I was like, bro, I pushed way past it. What my line was. You know what I mean? And my body was just like, dude, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Yeah. But then once I did that, and I was like, oh, there's more. Oh, there's even a little more. There's a little more. And when you start off and you're able to make those big 10% jumps, right? It was like, that's very easy to see. And, oh man. But when like you start making those like 0.5 increases, that's when you've really become on that level. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't even imagine like Kobe or like Steph Curry or like Jordan, like, bro.
Yes, take me to get that 0.5. So dial
0.1, whatever.
Exactly.
I'll take anything.
Yep. And we've talked about Kobe on one of our last pods too, and even we have a podcast with an MMA fighter too, and just how some of them train. And it's a level you've never experienced before, and it's going to be a level that you're going to have to push past you've even done prior to, and you don't even know what you're about to experience, and you can't prepare for it. As some of them are even saying,
yeah,
you're going to break it, and people get scared. Some people can't do it. Some people can't do it, and that's where you're going to fall short. Is like you said, that uncomfortability there, and if you don't want to get there to succeed,
yeah, it's not gonna happen.
So with pushing yourself, have you noticed any like habits, rituals that you have because you pushed yourself?
Wow. I just was having a talk about this with my wife. I think that now in life, I'm having to drop back a little bit because I've negative talked myself so much. Cause like, that's what gets me going. You know what I mean? But I look in the mirror and be like, look at you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're trash. You know what I mean? Let's go. You know what I mean? You gotta be better. You know what I mean? But I never really gave myself like the grace to be like, okay, yeah, you didn't drink enough water yesterday. You know what I mean? That's why you look like this. So like it's just, no, dude, there's more. Like people will be like, man, like there's no more weights lifting in the gym, bro. It's like, no, there's a 45 over there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how has that been coming?
It's not easy.
I bet not.
It's not easy. And I think
you've been
like
set to your whole life.
Yeah. And I think that's probably been one of my downfalls after, let's say probably my second to last year in the league, like continuing on. And I've struggled mightily with that. And just because some things that like maybe have transpired in football. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you one. One of my second to last, I think my second last year or last year in the league, it was Rashad Johnson, Hamza Abdullah, and myself. So we were the 3 backup safeties, right? Usually only carry 2. But we had a dime defense, a nickel defense, and we always play with 3 safeties, right? Man, I've been on this team for a while. We got a new defensive back coach. And we're practicing competing. And then before the game, first game, he's okay, you guys are going to pick a number between 1 and 10 to see who's going to play. And it was like, I was like, we did it. I think I got it that game. Then The next game that happened, right? I didn't get it. Played special teams. I didn't play defense that game. Then the next game, the coach comes out, pregame warm-ups, right? And he walks by me and he gives me a number like this. And I'm like, bro, I'm a professional, man. If I'm not good enough to play somebody else. And like now you're telling me the number to say, and these are my boys, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And like throughout the year, there was like this type of, and so I started to get like trust issues, you know what I mean? And he would say, they're saying this upstairs, you know what I mean? About you. And you're thinking like, man, bro, I've literally fought through so much, you know what I'm saying? Got type 1 diabetes. I played through the whole playoffs, you know what I'm saying? My blood sugar was over 400 every single game. I didn't even know. And then like when it really hit, I lost 19 pounds in a week and a half, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't always feel like the care was like there. Yes, you have this job you have to try to keep, but at the same time, you're battling your health, you're battling your injuries, you're battling these type of games, you know what I mean? And then carry that home. And now you have to take oxys before you come in the house so you can be chill or not expressive to your family, you know what I mean? But like, you're angry, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, I remember like sitting in the car, I had to take before going to the house, and it's like taking pills and it's being like, so I could just be numb, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's been a process. I'm still working out, like therapist every week or type of stuff. So I'm still here. Yeah, I have a great wife. I have a good family. So like,
The support system did. I can't believe I had never heard of this story before as far as playing game. I would have wanted to have the decency to look me in the eye as a man and be like, hey, am I in or out?
Yeah.
We're all exceptionally capable athletes of getting this job done. You're the coach. You be the man. You pick the pick, man. That's so weird to me. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
very odd.
That's absurd. So you mentioned a few things as far as getting through struggles, instances. There was a gentleman who played college football who had a question for you, actually. And he said, for many people going through college, especially into the NFL, it's all about staying healthy enough to play. Can you describe your journey and what you felt you needed to do to stay healthy throughout this entire process? And what kinds of things did you make sure that you could not miss or not show up to do as far as a routine, as far as workout, or whatever you like to share? Where did you feel you needed to be 100% every day to have a longevity in the career?
Very few times when I felt like help. Yeah, maybe at the beginning of training camp. First. But yeah, you're gonna be bruised up. You're gonna be beat up. But that's the thing too. Like now, I feel like there's so many injuries because like these guys don't go through real training camp anymore. You know, so like now you just go into the season and it's like now you have to turn it up, and your body's like, bro, we haven't really adjusted to this. Let's say if you're gonna box for 3 rounds, right? When you're sparring during the week or those months prior to do a 3-round fight, you're gonna have to probably train 8 rounds, 9 rounds. You know what I mean? Because that first round is gonna feel like death. You know what I mean? The second round gonna feel like you're under the earth. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So that makes sense. To be honest, that makes perfect sense. It does. And I think it's just continuing to shine light to an expectation that I don't think people understand.
Yeah. I think also in training, you have to be able to really work on your weaknesses and your imbalances. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people do a lot of, here, I'm on 2 feet. You know what I mean? They're squatting, they're doing balance like that. And it's okay, but in the sport, like you're going to end up on 1 foot. You know what I mean? A lot. And like even my daughter, she's a long jumper and she's having like knee issues and stuff like that, but like she had imbalances. She wasn't doing enough single leg exercise, whatever it is, that type of stuff.
Like part that you brought up, obviously, and we both know like squatting, like obviously you're not going to be able to use that. It won't correlate very well to any athletic endeavor or specific that you want to perform. Are there certain things that you look for based on what, let's say, for example, like your daughter, like for whatever sport that she wants, like how you can help her become better? You meticulously look at obviously creating or helping her imbalances. Yes, you want to say, do you go as into depth of like a certain positions you want to either alter this or give her awareness on that she better with that, or anyone on that?
The daughters thing is a little difficult. And just like, I'm saying like your own kids, right?
Yeah.
Bro, Joe Montana's kid was asking his high school quarterback coach like what he should do. And the quarterback coach is, your dad's Joe Montana. You know what I mean? Like kids don't want to listen to like their parents all the time. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I've explained to her, dude, you run literally. You know what I'm saying? Like you're on one leg, this leg, boom, that's explosion. You know what I mean? It's like you just doing things with double legs is not helping you. I think being unstable or having a bar with a band outside with a weight when you're like trying to do curls or like you have to stabilize your body different ways. Those things are so important. At this point, I'm like, okay, I know as long as I keep my stability, that type of stuff, like I'm still strong, but I have like shoulder issues, I have neck issues, back issues. So I can't just, let me just pick this up. Even when I'm putting dishes away, like I have to like do everything right. You know what I mean? Or I'll throw something out, which is really embarrassing when you're at Home Depot and you go to pick up like a brush to paint. You know what I'm saying? And they have to help you out of the store. Then I end up here with you.
Touche. Now, we're on a similar mindset in terms of rehab, but in cross-apply training-wise as well, too. And I think that's incredibly cool. Obviously, for you, even explore now into, was it Jiu Jitsu as well? And some of these other different sports than what you're used to. How has that journey been for you trying a new and different sports?
Well, that specifically, if I'm just being completely honest, like I was going through like the suicidal ideation, like, bro, literally every 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I just want to be able to think without being like, you know what I'm saying? So then I went to Jiu Jitsu, watched my daughter. Then I watched the older people come in. Oh, God, like lifting in. This is Jiu Jitsu. I'm like, hey, man, you do Jiu Jitsu? Yeah. He's like, I got 2 shoulder replacements and a hip replacement. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, you can just do what you can do in here. You know what I mean? Like you find little cheats, your technique. You like wedge a knee into somebody. It's just, it's the coolest thing, bro. It's literally like a chess, active chess. You know what I mean? Active physical chess. Like your hand placement, like where are you going next? You know what I mean? Where's the opening? And I have no desire to be like a world champion, anything like that. You know what I mean? But like just going in and learning the techniques and stuff like that is just like, now when I got back in my car, I'm like trying to figure out how did this 135-pound dude just choke out a 300-pound dude? You know what I mean? Like I'm driving around thinking like, bro, how did this happen? You know what I mean? That became like my thought. So like, having the physicality, having the thought process and be able to do something like just to be able to get your mind off of whatever. Yeah. And also there's a challenge in it. There's a camaraderie, there's like a brotherhood. Cause like me personally, I would rather just be by myself. But like when you do go into the class and like guys are helping each other. And I don't know, man, there's something about gripping somebody. It's physical. That's what we're meant to, yeah, that's what we're meant to do. So like when that was taken from me from football, like, I go out there, I'm like, okay, I may sit against the wall, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching. And just being there is such a benefit. I would literally tell anyone, go do jiu-jitsu. If you're going through something, go do jiu-jitsu. If you're not going through something, go do jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, and the amount of people in there who have gone through just insane stuff, but it gives them balance. That it gives them peace. Isn't that what everybody wants? At the end of the day, you want peace. I'm extremely grateful for just even being introduced to it at all. I haven't been doing it like every day, type of thing. But I met some pretty good people too. Some really good people who have incredible stories.
Corey works with us. He's a professional. He was a champion.
Yeah.
Worlds. Everything. He was very gifted early on, and he quit later in his life. But he had said that he learned a lot of stories, a lot of examples. One of them when he went to Brazil and explained how over there, he goes, they didn't have air conditioning. He goes, they had bars on their windows. And he goes, it was a room that had, all of it was just, and he goes, there's nothing else in it. It was just guys that came in to do their craft. They were sweating. And he's like, all they talked about was the respect towards each other. And they talked about morals, values, life. And he goes, there was nothing else. And every one of them would die for what they believed in it, to try to compete, to try to be the best. And he goes, in America, it was lost. And it just, again, it's based on that kind of idea of what are we building right now in America versus others, and it's how sports can definitely be a part of it. But what have we lost too as far as comfort?
Absolutely.
Even training it, like, all of these things. That was got to be one of the bigger stories that I remember him explaining.
I think word with the R, the respect word, that's so big. That is so big. And it's, like you said, it's being lost to the point where it's like people only think about themselves. You know what I mean? I go to Tokyo with my wife. We're in a subway station, the main one in Tokyo. Probably 2,000. Bro, all you hear is footsteps. No one talks because they don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like they respect you enough to give you your, you know what I mean? I'm not going to make a scene. I'm not going to make this about myself. That's their mindset over there. You know what I'm saying? And it's everything it's orderly. It's really orderly. They have a protest. They put a line right here on the street. Nobody steps over this line. So traffic can continue to go. No one steps over the line. You know what I mean? And like, I'm watching stuff. I'm like, dude, am I in like Pleasantville right now? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? Yeah. And man, like we're saying with the physicality and stuff like that, I go against you, right? Football field, soccer field, whatever, basketball. And at the end, I'm like, you know what? I could feel your effort. I could feel your fight. You know what I'm saying? And even if I whooped your ass or you whooped my ass, I respect you as a man, as a human being. You know what I mean? And bro, there's something special about that.
Damn right.
No,
seriously, we're losing. We're losing. Seriously, do. I'm finding few and far between individuals who I come in contact with that I don't have that with. My circle's small because of that. We're almost made to feel a little, I guess, what would the word be? Different, or we're outside the box.
Right.
The ones that are pushing ourselves to be better, to do all these things.
Hey, why are you
we're
doing
the
that
outliers. We're the different ones.
Yeah.
It's so strange to me. It just doesn't make sense.
Another thing, you know, you're saying like with the food, we started eating just like whole food. I cut out all sweet and low. Like I used to put artificial sweeteners on my oatmeal, you know what I mean? Just so I could have something sweet. Then I cut all that out, bro. Bloat immediately gone in a week. Like I haven't been bloated, you know what I'm saying? Like I only eat sourdough bread. Mm-hmm. I just keep everything real basic. And like my body is literally changing. And like the other day we were stuck and I had to go to Whataburger. Like I was just starving. And I had literally like 2 or 3 bites. My body was just like,
we don't want to do this.
Like I'm cool. Like, we'll wait. Go get a protein shake.
The second you do it, you're like, why did I do it?
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting too with individuals who are incredibly healthy, the signal that we get quicker versus those who aren't. They can go and eat and crap. And it might take them a week before they start maybe. It's different for them. But for us, we are always trying to be on top of our.
Well, they don't know why they don't feel good.
No. Or they don't question it, right?
Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. Like, man, I'm going to go over here to...
They're like, oh, I ate too much.
Cane's, you know what I'm saying?
Much.
Yeah, I just ate
like,
too much.
No,
like,
dude,
no, bro.
Crap, you eat shit.
The amount of fat you put in your body, you just have that fried chicken with ranch, like copious amounts of ranch and whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never looked at the back of stuff until like my wife was like, dude, like, are you putting that much butter on your bread? And I'm, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's delicious, you know what I mean? You're going to kill yourself. You know what I mean? Just being mindful. Look at the label. Look at this stuff. If you grab a can of soda and you're drinking 40 grams of sugar in one, bro, how easy is it to drink 2 or 3 sodas in a day? If you're a kid and it's hot outside. Yes. Like, bro, that is insane. You're killing yourself.
Yes.
But it tastes delicious.
There's no stigma around it. So it's easy to do. There's no one bullying you out there because you're drinking soda. And so we lost that too. Like, where's the accountability for your person too? You speak out and you just want something that's for the person that they get a certain way and not you're a dickhead.
Yeah. So that's why your circle's small.
Exactly. So totally get.
And
totally
going back to that point too, a lot people understand that all these temptations, they're all just chemical processes. If you understand and recognize that, you can change those things by, it may not taste as good, but what do you want in life? You want something to feel good all the time. You're going to live a very short, miserable.
Painful life.
Then if you want something more out of life this short time you have here on earth. It's going to take that sacrifice, whether it's mindset, balance, physically, whether it's food coming in. It's like everything good for us is always stuff that kind of sucks. It's terrible.
The diet and nutrition part, especially being like type 1, like I tell people all the time, man, if you can just have maybe 2 or 3 things that you know exactly what the numbers are. I have 2 slices of bread. Each one of them is 20 grams of carbs, you know what I'm saying? And then lightly butter it. Put some honey on it, you know what I'm saying? Take your sweetness craving away. But you know exactly what your numbers are here. Instead of just, oh, let me get that and that. You're getting all these spikes and stuff like that. It's like consistency in the food that you eat. Obviously, you eat different things, but that's helped me out a lot in terms of being able to manage my numbers. You know what I mean?
Were you playing through your whole career?
No, when we went to the Super Bowl in 08,
yeah,
that's when I got it. So I got a flu vaccine for the first time in my life, and my body didn't see it as the foreign body, and it killed my pancreas.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So since then, I'm sure that was an adaptation of itself.
Yeah, because
everything,
bro, I was like literally cramping in like the first quarter of games. Like I didn't know what was going on, and then the adjustment after that, you know what I mean? Trying to figure out, okay, do I go into the game with my blood sugar at 200, or do I come in at 110? Like, am I gonna drop too far? And it's like the mental gymnastics and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And like, I had to do that on my own. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes I know this might sound a little crazy, but I would see how far I could go down before I would like start to lose.
I know what you mean.
Cause I just want to know, am I in a safe zone here? Can I still function? Yes. You know what I mean? I don't know if people should try that, but like I had to know.
Dire straits.
Yeah.
In the middle of it's your job. It's a little different.
Yeah.
For sure. And I know individuals who get low all have certain changes too. So I'm sure you were.
And it changes within yourself as your brain chemistry changes too.
Yes.
Like I could be going for 4 months and feel a certain type of way in my brain, and I could feel a change. And then when my blood sugar drops, right, my body just profusely sweats. You know what I'm saying? Shake.
So that's your first sign usually?
That could be one time,
okay,
right?
Okay.
Now, 4 months later, that could be going on for a few months, and then I change something, or I do something, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ketamine therapy, whatever, you know what I mean? Something in there changes, okay? And now, when I get when I drop, I don't, my blood sugar, I'm not sweating, I'm not shaking. So now it's a whole different response, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, ooh, am I low right now?
Yep,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, you have to really be like in tune, you know, with yourself.
It sounds like your personality is that way. So you were fortunate enough to dial it in, but it's still incredibly difficult to manage.
Yeah.
Did you find anyone else playing that had type 1 that you could talk to?
Yeah, not that I could talk to, because it really is your own journey, right? Because 20 grams of carbs for you and 20 grams of carbs for me, your body's going to drop a different amount of insulin. You know what I'm saying? So I can't just be like, oh yeah, bro, take 2 units of that. You're going to be straight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that could crash you out. So yeah, I
very
think.
N of 1, very person to person.
Yeah. Now you can have some things where you try to get some guidelines. You know what I mean? This is what I do. But you're going to have to switch some things around for yourself a little bit here and there.
Yeah. Do you feel like those team docs gave you any help?
No.
Isn't that something though? Isn't that something?
I had to go to my own naturopath.
Got it.
To find out what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Because mind you, they saw me for a week and a half and they saw me lose 19 pounds because I was rehabbing my knee.
Oh, sure.
And I couldn't rehab. Like, bro, I was working out and my muscles were never getting a pump.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then I'm like, bro, what in the world? And I'm carrying my brand new baby around. Like, dude, I'm strong. She felt like she weighed 300 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And I'm explaining this and it's just, oh, okay.
Did you get the thirst change?
Yeah, bro, like
the penal,
drinking, literally eating and falling asleep.
Yeah.
Drinking. And I just didn't know. I didn't know. And then when the naturopath called me, he hit me up before I even got home. He was like, hey, I just want you to know, like, you have diabetes. And I was like, what does that mean, bro? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen the commercials, but I'm a high level athlete. Like, I can't get that. Like, that's not even part of my life. Like, no, bro, like, you're type 1.
And a naturopath found them.
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Popil, Brian Popil.
Convert to type 1, such a later end of.
That's a very rare. That's usually rare. Yeah, for sure. And it's usually due to either some type of trauma or sickness or like
I
you said,
don't mean,
yeah.
Do you have any specific things you do on a consistent basis, like meal prepping, or is it kind of week by week basis for you?
Yeah, on Sunday, like we'll cook all of our meats, vegetables, carbs, right? And then, so they'll all be all stacked. And then you can just mix and match, you know what I mean? Oh, today I'm going to use this turkey meat with the rice and make a little Mexican bowl, you know what I'm saying? Or like that type of stuff. Or, oh, here's a salad and we have some vegetables here, and just like piece it together. So you don't have to eat the same exact thing every day, but you're eating the same stuff throughout the week. You know what I mean? You're just replacing one carb with another. Sweet potato with rice or whatever, you know what I mean? But actually, this is one thing I wanted to bring up. Like, when we go other places, we go to Japan, we go to Europe and stuff like that, I can eat copious amounts of carbs and it like does not affect me. But when I come over here, I have to be very dialed in because my body does not break this crap down the same. Oh, that's another thing. I stopped drinking Gatorade. Body, like,
Just
literally.
Crazy sugar change?
No, well, not the, but the dyes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like the red, the yellow, you know what I'm saying? I stopped drinking Gatorade and I feel a difference in my body. 'Cause I used to drink it a lot. It's Gatorade Zero.
They had it on the sides,
Zero.
didn't they?
Huh?
They would always have it on the sides for you. Is that right, too?
Yeah. But like Gatorade, the thirst quencher, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think, bro, this is good for me. No, bro, it's not.
I find a lot of guys just drink water and try to avoid that shit, too.
Most of the guys are from places where your thought isn't about like your nutrition, you know what I'm saying? You just eat. And you're especially when making mayonnaise sandwiches, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to just make it. When you could get a real meal put in front of you, like, I'm about to go to town.
For sure.
But like, bro, we're eating Whataburger on Saturday at the facility. We have a game on Sunday. We're eating Popeyes, getting onto the plane on Friday, like copious amounts of fried food, and you have to perform, you know what I mean? And
Wow.
this is, now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, bro, it was crazy.
Correct. I'm going back to the Gatorade part. Did you?
Yeah, I have substituted. So now I drink water and I put Celtic salt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Celtic salt in
talking
there,
about that. That's
you know?
awesome.
And man, it's even brain function, you know what I'm saying? Like you wake up and you drink that first and it's, okay, I'm here a little bit, you know what I mean? Like don't even need coffee.
I think there's a part that I think will actually benefit. We actually found this out when we did a podcast on hydration. The fastest way that you can hydrate is by putting that Celtic salt in your tongue first.
Yeah.
Absorb.
And then drinking it.
It's,
Okay.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I did when Doc had found that out. I was interested.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's next step. Level up. Give me that 1%.
1%.
Yes. What do you find that you are genuinely curious about in any aspect of life?
The thing that bothers me the most, because I'm a very like 0 or 100. Like my life is this, like lines. You know what I'm saying? Everything is sectioned off like that. I don't know if it's because my dad was like a disciplinarian, you know what I mean? He loved on us. If you do this, it's going to happen. Cause effect. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom. It's a gray area I have a very, very hard time with at all. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's something I have to be like super mindful about because I'll get in my head. If somebody says something a certain type of way, I'm like immediately I'm like, I can't fool with you. You know what I mean? So
Respect.
it's definitely not always healthy. But like for me, if I draw hard lines on things, I know that I'm in control. But if I give myself gray area, I'm gonna fucking do bad shit. And like that's just how I feel like the
People go nuts on the fence. I always tell them, quit being on the fence. Like you either choose this or you choose patience too. Maybe I just want to come in, maybe help my knee a little bit this way. That like you're gonna go nuts.
yeah.
Get
When
off
you're
the
done.
fence. Either you're gonna go and just let that knee need surgery. You're gonna waste your time too.
That's like the word for me. The word try. I can't fucking stand it. If I ask you a question like, "Hey, bro, you can be at my house?" You know what I'm saying? Oh, bro, I'm gonna try it. You're not coming. Like, just give me one or the other. You know what I mean? I'm good. Let's just say you're lifting a weight, right? Yeah, I'm trying to lift the weight. Well, either you lifted it or you didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, the effort, it matters, but I mean, you gotta put it all, it's either all in or you're all in. Sorry. certain times I'm some gray zone, probably whether it's communication, family, outside of.
Yeah, that's
Just-
where I struggle. That's where I struggle.
Kind of right there with you too. It's like we're gonna get this done, or we're not gonna get it done. My stepmom, she ingrained this into me. If you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it right. Do it right the first time, and that's been ingrained for me. Or most of the time, it's been that way throughout my whole life. I think that's laid really good groundwork.
But I mean, yeah, I see that with you because out of all the people I've ever worked with, I can just see it like working in your brain. You know what I mean? And you're like, you want to, you're going down a line, you're crossing things off. And okay, we're here. How do we get to here? Okay, we're here. How do we get back to, you know what I mean? And having that thought process is what helps you to be able to get there. I appreciate that when someone's like super mindful and not just, let's see. Yeah, we're going through a process, but like, why are we doing this? You know what I mean? You're doing this because this is turned this way and this is turned that way. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, 100%. That's where, like, when I got to introduce myself with Dr. the first time to him and I's minds very similar. Whole statement that you had, or is this along the same pathway of I know the reason why, what's going on, but at the same time towards a specific goal, and there's potential ways and strategies to go about it. You might have to switch it up depending on what the person has, but I think that's what and why they call it you're in practice for so long, because you're continuously practicing.
Yeah.
Well, I've even got to the point now where I'm studying more about my competitors and myself anymore. Now I got to know who am I dealing with. I'm studying what the surgeon's going to say to the patient. I'm studying what this doctor is going to say to the patient. I'm studying how they're going to talk to, because if I can predict all of that, then I know how I manage the patient. So
Yeah.
I'll say, okay, yeah, you can go talk to the surgeon. He's going to say this and this. You come back to me, tell me what he said. They'll go and he said, yeah, he said everything he said. I said, okay, what do you want to do? And then I want to know it all.
Right.
You got to know it all, because if you don't, then you shouldn't be in that room with the patient. And so one of my favorite mentors, Dr. Carrick, he's a chiropractic neurologist. He said, if you don't feel you should be in that room, you have any doubt about helping that patient, you walk the fuck out of that room. And he goes, you should not be helping the patient. Get him somewhere else.
Yeah.
He goes, we're faking it here. And I just remember that. If I felt like I can't help that person, I'm going to.
And that's like the ultimate level of respect you have for that person.
For
you know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like, we're not going to sit here and fucking.
Maybe. The maybe is the try.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you see me, maybe, hell no. Absolutely not. And respect
Yeah.
the word you brought up. Absolutely.
Other question that came to my mind. So fast forward 10 years from now, what is something that you're proud of looking back at that day?
10 years from now, 20 years of marriage to my best friend.
Hell yeah.
I'll have a 26-year-old. I'll have a 24-year-old. I'll have a 19-year-old, 16-year-old. I want to see them all progress and be able to facilitate and however they need. You know what I'm saying? Be like, man, my dad was there to see, like my oldest daughter, she plans on being in the 28 Olympics in LA. I know it's not 10 years, but I'm saying like I want to see these things, because for me, I've done what I've done. You know what I mean? It's over for me. But like now, it's them to watch them just become who they're gonna be. But also at the same time, I want to see that they're giving up their life to other people, saying that they're not just in a me mindset. And I think if I see that in 10 years, I feel like I did what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? And just try to have a little level of gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my baby girl, after she's 6, she said, "Dad, what is gratitude?" And I'm like, man, it's gratitude is whether something is going good, something's going terrible, whether something is just in the middle, whatever. You're in pain. You're not, like, just find a way to say thank you. You know what I'm saying, for where I'm at right now, because where you're at right now is going to take you to your next place. You know what I'm saying, and how you deal with it. I think if those things can line up, I know it won't be completely smooth.
A lot of respect.
I think part of being, like, when I was little, I grew up, like, is a community group, like, raised us. You know what I'm saying? My granny, my auntie, my parents, my uncles, the neighborhood raised everybody. And I think and also in 10 years, if my community looks like that, and like it does right now, then, and even greater, Like, bro, now we're headed in the right direction. That's special because not everyone cares. The caring part is most people don't even care about themselves. So if you can care about yourself, you can love yourself, now you can give that to somebody else. Now we're changing the world we live in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because let's just be real. How many commercials, political commercials, right? Every 20 seconds, right? The way I look at it, I'm like, bro, I can't help what's happening in California right now. I can't help what's happening across the world right now. You know what I'm saying? In terms of my action, like, yes, you could donate, you could do whatever, right? Macro. But if we all take care of our community and all treat each other the way we should in our community, these people won't have a job to be able to spread bullshit, because this is us. We don't need you. You're causing all kind of other people. You want people over here and over here when the majority of people are all right here. You know what I'm saying? We want the same things. You want your kids to be able to go to school safely, to be able to learn in a great environment. You want to be able to have food on your plate. You want to be able to have time with your family and do fun things. You know what I'm saying? But bro, I hate driving around, right? Last week, twice my daughters called me. Dad, there's kids that are going to come shoot up the school. Will you come get me? Bro, it's hard for me to even take them to school. I'm like, dog, it's today the fucking day. You know what I mean? I don't want that anymore. You know what I'm saying? I remember being in high school, like there was a kid who like walked around like Darth Vader, like outfit, cape, you know what I'm saying? Always spoke to that kid. You know what I'm saying? Joe, how you doing, bro? Man, you know what I mean? And then he just like slowly but surely, oh, so you don't have a problem with me like wearing this? No, dude, it's clothes. You know what I'm saying? If you fucking like Darth Vader, bro, like cool, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not going to outcast you. People need to come, especially young, dude, get out of your comfort zone and go help somebody else. This kid that's over here sitting by himself, moping around the schoolyard or has nobody. Bro, if you're the popular kid in school, go make that your homie. You know what I'm saying? That person, he needs that. Your homeboys that you think need you, you know what I'm saying? And you guys go out and do, you don't need you, bro. This person needs you to be able to assimilate into society and feel like they're one with everybody else. You know what I mean? We're all different, but bro, we all want the same things. Let's do it. If you can care about yourself, you can love yourself, now you can give that to somebody else.
There was a kid I with that he committed suicide, and I realized the fact that I never got a chance to talk to him. And ever since that point, everything you just said right there, I purposefully looked at who are the people that either know friends or standouts. I do a similar thing. I went and talked to them, had lunch with them from time to time. Like those small things add up, and I think it's incredible. That's really cool that you had that mindset growing up at such an early age. But obviously, looking back, we all see that now on how the impact it can have on not only that person, but even the people around them, and even for the setting and the safety and health.
That
Good.
I think that's
Appreciate
good.
you guys,
We
man.
appreciate everybody listening. Thank you so much again, Matt, for being here.
Thank
Really
you guys for
appreciate
having
you
me.
guys. Doc, as always.
Absolutely.
You guys have a great day.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Disclaimer, the content provided in this health podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard on this podcast. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or 911 immediately. Reliance on any information provided in this podcast is solely at your own risk. The creators and hosts of this podcast are not responsible for any actions or decisions you may take based on the information presented.
Thanks for joining us on The Functional Code. For more evidence-based health insights, subscribe, rate and review wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, your journey to a healthier you begins with understanding the Functional Code. Until next time, stay well, stay informed, and embrace the science of living well.